Additionally, we again urge all countries, including China, to stop exports to Russia of dual-use goods that contribute to Russia's war industrial base and enable its drone and missile attacks against Ukraine. Beijing's claim to have implemented strong export controls on dual-use goods falls apart in the face of daily recovery of Chinese-produced components in the drones, weapons, and vehicles that Russia uses against Ukraine. Mr. President, now is the time for all UN member states to do our part to bring this war to an end. I thank you.
Lord, the representative of China.
President, I'd like to respond to the statement by the U.S. representative. As we've pointed out many times in the Council, China did not start the Ukraine crisis, nor is it a party to it. China has never provided lethal weapons to any party to the conflict and has always strictly controlled dual-use materials, including the export of drones. We urge the U.S. to stop shifting blames on the Ukraine issue or creating confrontation, and instead playing a more constructive role in promoting ceasefire and peace talks. What's more, President, I'd like to take this opportunity to say a few more words. This past Tuesday, when the Council held an open debate on the peaceful settlement of disputes, the U.S. representative took advantage of the meeting to attack and accuse China on the South China Sea issue. This past Thursday, when the Council held an open meeting on cooperation between the UN and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the representative of the U.S. once again started its provocation by slandering and smearing China on Xinjiang-related issues. Today, when we are considering the issue of Ukraine, the representative of the U.S. again started to spread false information and lies about China. Within a single week, the U.S. has made groundless accusations at China in the Security Council multiple times. They only prove that what the U.S. cares about is not maintaining international peace and security or promoting the political settlement of war or conflicts, but rather using this council to suppress and attack other countries and engage in political manipulation to serve its own agenda. As a permanent member of the council, the U.S. should be ashamed and disgraced by its own words and deeds. We urge the U.S. to change course at an early date and engage constructively in the work of the Council.
The Representative of the United States has asked for the floor to make a further statement. I give you the floor, Madam.
Thank you. Mr. President, I would like to reply to the assertion that the United States made, and I quote, groundless accusations, and that somehow this was a misuse of the Council. I reject these allegations. The United States has raised pertinent information, and in a case in point today, we noted that materials and components supplied by China are ending up in Russian weapons. Weapons which Russia is using to strike Ukraine, killing Ukrainian civilians, and destroying Ukrainian infrastructure. If China is sincere in calling for peace, it should stop fueling Russia's aggression. I thank you.
And the representative of China has asked for the floor now to make a further statement. I give you the floor, sir.
Thank you, President. I'll be very brief. China on the issue of Ukraine has, our position has been repeated so many times. We are calling for ceasefire and we're committed to promoting peace talks. China's efforts have been seen by all. For the U.S., I would like to say that there are so many hotspot conflicts and complex international situations. The international community needs cooperation and solidarity instead of diversion and confrontation.
China is also represented here, a powerful nation on which Russia now depends completely. If China truly wanted this war to stop, it could compel Moscow to end the invasion. Without China, Putin's Russia is nothing. Yet too often, China stays silent and distant instead of active for peace. The United States of America is present here as well, a strong nation that supports our defense, and we've said yes to every proposal from the US president for a ceasefire and talks with Russia to bring peace. But Russia always says no, or tries to confuse everyone so that even a ceasefire can't happen. And I met with President Trump just now, and we spoke about how to finally bring peace, and we discussed a few good ideas, and I hope they will work. And I'm grateful for this meeting, and we expect America's actions to push Russia toward peace. Moscow fears America and always pays attention to it. The United Kingdom is here, a permanent member of the Security Council. France is here, also a permanent member. Both nations support us, support our people, our independence. Both promote diplomacy, and both are parties to a document that was supposed to be a positive milestone, together with the other permanent members of the UN Security Council. But instead, it became a warning to the world. The Budapest Memorandum, meant to guarantee Ukraine's security in exchange for giving up nuclear weapons, failed. It proved that international promises can turn into blabbering. That is why today, with Britain, with France, and already with more than 30 nations in our coalition of willings, we are building a new security architecture. We count on the United States of America as a backstop. Real security guarantees must become the line Russia cannot cross again. Here is one example of how strength can stop war. If we could strengthen our skills with a joint system to shut down skies, with a joint system to shut down Russian missiles and drones, it would force Russia to stop its attack from the sky, because everything could be shut down, and so Putin would be forced to sit here or in another respectable venue and look for a truce on the ground. If there is no war in the sky, Russia can't keep fighting on the ground. I have talked about this with President Trump and with other leaders. Why do I say this now and here? Because you, the United States, China, Britain, France, the permanent members of the Security Council, represent the world's essential power, the power that must act when international law alone cannot. And no, not Russia. With this war, Russia has discredited itself, even for those who do not yet criticize Putin openly. They still feel that Russia's presence brings no good. Excellencies, behind every international institution, there must be real strength to enforce decisions. This is true for the Security Council and for the UN as a whole. If you stand together for ending this war, even Russia will have to obey. And if some of you act while others delay, the war goes on. Ukraine wants peace more than anyone in the world. The front is on our land, and we mourn our people, and we try to save our cities and to save our small villages. Russia ignores its dead, blind to its own losses. But one day it will see and it will hear, and it will happen when it sees your actions, when it hears your united call for peace. That is my appeal to you today. be the force that act together, please, united lest to stop Russia's war. And we know how to guarantee security. What we need now is a strong push to force Russia toward peace. Thank you. Slava Ukraini.